SpaceX just unveiled an AI device prototype, and nobody expected it from a rocket company. You'd think a spacecraft manufacturer stays focused on orbit, right? Wrong. SpaceX is now in the phone game with a device that looks like a smartphone but runs AI at its core. The move is pure Musk, unexpected, ambitious, designed to disrupt an industry nobody thought SpaceX would touch. So why would the company behind Starship suddenly care about mobile devices? The answer reveals something bigger happening in tech. Major companies are treating AI-powered personal devices as the next frontier, and SpaceX wants in. This isn't a side project or a leaked prototype from a bored engineer. It's an intentional play from one of the world's most resourceful companies. According to reports, the device is further along than you'd expect and has been in development for a while. Preliminary specs suggest it's built to do something different from your regular phone. It's designed to leverage AI in ways standard Android and iPhone devices haven't figured out. Whether it's for communication, computation, or something uniquely SpaceX, this prototype signals that Elon Musk isn't content dominating just rockets and cars. He wants to own the device in your pocket. The implications are massive for Silicon Valley. Here's what we know and why the timing matters. Why is SpaceX doing this? The answer starts with a simple observation. Every tech company that matters is building an AI device. Apple has Siri deeply woven into the iPhone. Google has Gemini on Pixel phones. OpenAI is reportedly working on hardware. Even smaller startups are racing to build AI-first devices because they believe the next computing platform is a phone that thinks. SpaceX, controlled by Elon Musk, isn't one to sit on the sidelines when an industry is being redefined. He's already disrupted space travel with reusable rockets, electric cars with Tesla, and social media with X. A phone with integrated AI seems like the natural next move for someone who sees technology as an opportunity to reshape the future. What makes SpaceX's entry different is their unique advantage: infrastructure. SpaceX controls satellite communications through Starlink. Imagine a device that connects to AI models running on servers on the ground, but also has direct access to SpaceX's satellite network for backup connectivity. That's a competitive advantage you can't easily replicate. The device reportedly features advanced processing power and integration with existing Musk-controlled technologies. It's not just a phone, it's a bridge between your pocket and a sprawling tech ecosystem. The timing also matters. AI has reached a point where it's moving from a curiosity to an essential tool. Users now expect their devices to be smart, responsive, and intuitive. Companies that don't deliver on that expectation are falling behind. And here's where it gets interesting. So what exactly is this SpaceX device? Based on available information, it's a smartphone form factor packed with AI capabilities. Think of it less like an iPhone or Pixel and more like an AI assistant that happens to be shaped like a phone. The display is high-resolution and touchscreen-based, typical of modern smartphones. The internals, though, that's where SpaceX differentiated. The device runs custom software optimized for AI inference, meaning it can run advanced language models and computation directly on the device itself rather than sending everything to the cloud. That's a massive advantage. Why? Because local processing means faster responses, better privacy since data doesn't leave your device, and resilience. If the internet drops, the AI still works. The device also has integration with Starlink, SpaceX's satellite internet service. This isn't just convenient, it's strategic. Starlink coverage is available almost everywhere on Earth, from remote deserts to international waters. A phone that can reach AI services even when traditional cell networks fail becomes genuinely useful in scenarios where other devices are dead weight. The reported processing power suggests it can handle real-time language translation, complex data analysis, and creative tasks. Early descriptions mention it's built for professional use first, consumer second, which tells you something about SpaceX's strategy. They're not trying to compete head-to-head with Apple's iPhone. They are building something different, and that's the kicker. Let's talk about what you'd actually do with this device. The professional angle is where SpaceX sees the biggest value. Imagine an engineer working on a remote construction site with no cell coverage. They pull out this phone and can instantly access AI to analyze photos, generate reports, or translate documents, all powered locally or via Starlink. No waiting for cloud uploads. No privacy concerns about sending sensitive work documents through third-party servers. That's genuinely useful for enterprise customers. The satellite integration opens even wilder scenarios. A journalist in a remote conflict zone could use the device to verify information in real time without relying on unreliable local networks. A researcher in the Arctic conducting climate studies could access AI tools for data analysis, while Starlink keeps them connected to collaboration platforms back home. These aren't hypothetical niche cases, they are real problems for real people. For regular consumers, the appeal is different but equally compelling. A phone that works everywhere with AI that responds instantly could reshape how we think about mobile computing. It's not about replacing your iPhone, it's about having a device that works when your iPhone can't. The AI capabilities suggest it could handle voice commands, real-time translation, advanced note-taking, and creative work that would normally require uploading to a cloud service. Early adopters and professionals will likely rush this one. Here's what's got the entire industry watching. How does this stack up against existing options? On the surface, it looks like it's going after the same market as iPhone and high-end Android phones, but the comparison misses the point. The SpaceX device isn't trying to be a better iPhone, it's trying to be a different class of device. Let's break it down. iPhone and Pixel phones have AI features, sure. Apple's Siri is built in. Google's Gemini is available. But those capabilities are secondary. The phone's primary identity is still communication, entertainment, and social media. The SpaceX device flips that pyramid. AI processing is the core identity. Everything else serves the AI. That's a meaningful distinction. From a specs perspective, the SpaceX phone likely matches or exceeds modern flagship phones in processing power. The advantage isn't raw speed, it's architectural. It's designed from the ground up for AI, not tacked on as an afterthought. The Starlink integration is the wild card no other phone maker can match. Apple can't build it because they don't own a satellite network. Google could theoretically do it, but they are deeply invested in cellular partnerships. SpaceX has a unique moat here. There are other AI-focused devices being developed by startups like Rabbit or Humane, but they lack the infrastructure advantage SpaceX brings. In head-to-head performance tests, the SpaceX phone might not always win, but it would win on something more important: availability. It works where others can't, and that's a game changer. This SpaceX move signals something profound about where tech is heading. For decades, the smartphone market has been dominated by two players, Apple and Google-backed Android manufacturers. They've set the rules. They've controlled the ecosystem. They've decided what features matter. Now, a rocket company is saying those rules need to be rewritten. If SpaceX pulls this off, it breaks the duopoly. Not overnight, but eventually. More companies will realize they can build their own devices if they have a unique angle. Amazon tried with Fire phones and failed because they had no differentiation beyond integration with their ecosystem. SpaceX has differentiation, satellite network, AI infrastructure, Elon Musk's brand and resources. The implications ripple outward. Phone manufacturers depend on app developers. If SpaceX's device gains traction, app developers will have to build for it. That means app stores, that means development frameworks, that means a parallel ecosystem. Companies like Meta or Microsoft could follow with their own hardware, leveraging their own infrastructure advantages. The AI angle is the real story, though. Right now, AI is trapped in the cloud. Every time you ask your phone a question, it travels to a data center hundreds of miles away, gets processed, and comes back. That latency, that dependency, that privacy leak. SpaceX is betting users will pay for a device that eliminates all three. If they are right, the smartphone market gets disrupted in a way we haven't seen since the original iPhone. And here's what matters most. So where do we go from here? This is the part where things get complicated. SpaceX hasn't announced a release date or price. They haven't even officially announced the device. All we have are reports and leaks. That's classic Musk. He lets rumors build momentum instead of doing traditional marketing. First thing to watch is when SpaceX makes an official announcement. When they do, pay attention to three details. First, The price. Flagship phones run around $1,000 or more. Will SpaceX charge less because they're using satellite connectivity? Will they charge more because of the custom silicon? That number tells you everything about their target market. Second, availability. Will this only ship to select countries, or is SpaceX launching globally from day one? That determines how big a deal this really is. Third, app support. What apps will run on this device out of the box? Will it be Android-based, custom Linux, or something unique? That determines how useful it is versus gimmicky. Stay tuned to SpaceX's official channels, tech news outlets, and developer communities for updates. Watch for early reviews from professionals in remote industries, construction, journalism, research, military. If they switch to this device, it's a winner. If they stick with iPhones and Pixels, SpaceX has a problem. This story is far from over, and the next chapter could reshape mobile computing. But wait, there's something about the bigger picture. Here's what this all means. SpaceX entering the smartphone market is a wake-up call. For years, we've assumed Apple and Google own mobile computing forever. They don't. The moment a company with enough resources and a real innovation decides to compete, the duopoly cracks. SpaceX isn't just making a phone, it's proving the market is still contestable. The AI angle is the future. Within 5 years, we're all going to expect our devices to think locally and securely. Cloud AI will be seen as a stopgap, a transitional technology that worked until companies figured out how to put real compute in your pocket. SpaceX is betting big on that future, and they might be right. Whether this specific device succeeds or fails, it's forcing Apple and Google to move faster on local AI. It's forcing other companies to ask themselves whether they can build a moat around hardware plus infrastructure. The smartphone market that looked locked in tight just 6 months ago is suddenly wide open. For everyday users, that's good news. Competition drives innovation. More choices means better phones, cheaper prices, and smarter features. For the tech giants, it's a threat they can't ignore. If SpaceX pulls this off and builds a real user base, it rewrites the playbook everyone's been following for the last 15 years. This is one to watch closely. Follow for daily AI news to stay on top of the next chapter.